All right, guys, welcome to our team call. Super excited. Wow, those were some really good calls tonight and provided so much value. I know for our clients that are sketchy in the summer or are thinking that summer is a reason to go off program, to push out program, to reduce their orders. It's been a lot of historically for us, this is a month where your awakening skills and your coaching skills are going to be tested. Many of you have already started to see that, where I know a number of you that I'm personally training and working with are starting to see, hey, what do I say with this? And what do I say with that? So this is a great time to really lean into your mentorship. And what I love is just screenshots of what you guys are getting. Go ahead and put it in your business thread. That really allows us to actually coach it with you and don't feel like, well, I don't want to be a bother. I got this one. This lady's saying she's going to go off for her vacation. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying. And you don't forget that your mentors have the words, they have the posture. That doesn't mean that it's always going to work. I was actually helping a coach today where we did that, and the lady came back and just held her position, right? Of like, this is what I'm going to do. But what she'll always know is what we were trying to give her and what we recommended as her coaches and as other clients on the journey that have had a couple summers ourselves, right? She'll always know that we were trying to advance her and not have her diet go on vacation. So
I think the other thing you can add to it, since we've really been developing a sponsoring mindset, is how much easier it is for you as somebody guiding other people to stay on your health journey through the summer, through vacations, through all the times. And you can talk about it, post about it.
That's so true. Like we don't ever talk about, like, just put yourself in that position. If you've been coaching for a while, have you ever thought like, I'm just going to go off the rails because it's summer? I haven't thought that way in a really long time. And maybe I make some deviations. Maybe I make some true moderation plans or things like that. But we haven't felt like
it's a way of life.
We're going to Maui. What are we going to do? Right? When was the last time you guys thought that? And so that's a great point around inviting them into their true program, which is starting to think like us, which means coaching, because they're not going to think like that as a client, right? Never. Michelle says never. It's the way I live now. So that's so good. Awesome. Well, we've got quite a few announcements tonight, a little bit of a training teaser. We'll be doing more of that training on Power Hour this week at 1:00 on Wednesday. But I wanted to kind of kick some things off. We're going to share our screen. Let me just make sure that we have a couple of co-hosts. I know Alan's helping us out, but I'm also going to make a few more just so that we can be in our PowerPoint and not have to go back and forth too much. So if you guys just all help us out, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to share our screen. And let me go ahead and get this out of the way. All right. So really June bloom versus June gloom. Okay. So just starting to think about June is upon us. May's not over. If you guys are, a lot of us are brand new, bringing on brand new coaches. What I love is just seeing, what are you pointing to?
Okay.
Oh, what I love is that you're seeing the opportunity to just get started really well. And that we see a number of coaches that literally just got started and they're already adding clients day 2, day 3. So really want to make an announcement for our new coaches. It is normal to come in and go, wait a minute, what am I doing? Right. And even freeze a little. That would be normal. That would be a normal reaction to doing anything new and anything awesome, anything that's going to grow you and stretch you. But remember, we're stepping out of what's normal and common, because that got the world sick, unhealthy bodies, unhealthy finances, unhealthy relationships. So if we do what normal people do and what feels normal and safe, we're going to stay where we are. So the very first thing as a brand new coach is that we want to make you slightly uncomfortable because that is going to be the beginning, the birth of your personal development. You're being born into something so much bigger than you ever could imagine. And you're just going to have to trust that process. So if you're a newer coach and you've got a handful of clients and you're comfy, what I would suggest is work with your mentor and get beyond the 5 to 7 clients, okay? Because that's where you are going to find your groove. You're going to find your personality, how you want to say things, your exact wording. You're going to get the confidence is going to lead to competence that is going to lead to confidence. And it's a crazy flywheel that's just going to set you free. So I'm really talking to our newer coaches tonight that are maybe added a couple clients and sort of like, wait a second, what do I do from here? Remember, it will be uncomfortable. If it's overwhelming, we need to look at your structure, okay? Because there's something off. So I just really want to keep reiterating, you're a part of the Richards team. We're gonna, no one left behind. We don't want anyone feeling like they're left behind. We really want to come alongside you and give you your basic skills to be able to help people get healthy and stay healthy. Okay. So I just want to start off with that for June. It's a great intention for the month of June, is really grabbing our coaches that have said yes to phase 2 and partnering with them really well. So we have a big announcement. Some of you may know this, some of you may not know this, but in the month of June, Tim and I are taking a sabbatical. And a sabbatical is a time of rest, and there's different purposes. People do sabbaticals for many different reasons. We are not taking a sabbatical because we are overwhelmed. So I'm going to tell you that right off the gate. I'm not even close to being overwhelmed right now. I don't know that I've ever been more on fire about our business. Like, I don't know that I've ever saw it clearer than I see it right now. This is something that I'm doing proactively to really take care and steward all of you well. I was thinking about this tonight, and I could just speak for me. I have this big responsibility for your yes. Your yes is something that I take very seriously. I always have. When I get in a Zoom, I want to show up and I want to serve you guys, and I want to do it really well. And I don't want to phone it in, and I don't want those things to leak through. So I've always taken that seriously. Your yes means everything to me personally, just as one of your leaders. And I want to steward your yes really well. I want to steward the mission really well. So we're not doing it because we're overwhelmed. Personally, I want to step away from the business. I want to empower other leaders. I want to see our structure and our systems, anything that's weak, everything will be tested in the month of June, and I'll come back and really know where to put energy and empowerment strategies and structures and systems. So it's a really wise thing to do when you have a large organization, to empower your leaders and have an autonomy supportive organization. And so the other thing is we want to create a lot of memories with our family. We're getting ready to leave the state of California, and our family's staying here, most of them. So we want to be extremely intentional about having time with our grandkids and our adult kids and each other, and really enjoy the last of California until we become visitors. So this is very intentional. In no way are we stepping away from the business, even though we're stepping away from being in Zooms. Okay. So did you want to add anything to that?
I think you got it.
All right, awesome. So for those of you that don't know what that means, sabbatical means we will be stepping away. We will not be in the invisibility. We will be invisible for the month of June. You'll be like, where did the Richards go, right? We will not be on calls. I will not be doing any trainings, any Zooms. My leadership knows this. Those that mentor us know this. They're stepping into some of our gaps. It is truly a time of refreshment. So just so you know that, like if anything's on the calendar for June, take it off because I won't be there. All right, so welcome new family members. Always want to reiterate that. We see new people joining the mission every single day. I think what I'm most excited about is brand new coaches, welcoming brand new coaches. Like, it's crazy. It's awesome. We're really getting out of our own way with the mission and seeing it for what it is. It's so cool. So welcome all of you. If this is your first call, second call, third call, we love you and we're so glad that you're here. So a couple of important announcements for June. I would say take a screenshot of this, because many of you are probably going, all right, cool. So you guys are leaving. So what's changing for me, right? What's changing for my clients? And we really want to make sure that you know that. So as far as our leaders, our team of frontline leaders have really stepped up and blessed our socks off. They're willing to step into so many things. This does a great thing for us, but it does a great thing for them too, because they're leading big organizations within our organization. And that's really cool to let them elevate and start practicing things that will become, a normal part of their empowerment and their emancipation, right? Super important that we emancipate our leaders. So book club, we have team assignments. Sorry, this should have looked like this. Power hours should have been its own bullet. We're rotating and empowering. Book club is every Saturday from 9 to 9:30. Power hour is Wednesdays at 1 to 1:30. Team calls, we're going to elevate other leaders on Monday nights at 6 o'clock. Those will continue, same place, same bat channel. Leading the Way Thursday nights will continue. They are reading the book, The 12 Shifts. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's a chance to get ongoing personal development outside of the life book. And we have lots of leaders that are leading it. So you can always ask your mentor, hey, how do I get to be a part of the Leading the Way? And even if you haven't read the 12 Shifts, you can jump in and catch up. Events and community. I would say, we were just talking about this the other day, is, these are great. I would start planning some of those. These are like coffee meetups, hikes that we would do, healthy happy hours at our house. It's really a chance for you guys to step into your community and get people together for something that centers around health, healthy people, fellowship. I highly recommend it for the summer. That's how we built our business. We didn't wait till our mentors had events. We just did our own and said, well, we're just going to invite our neighbors, or we're going to invite people from our church, or we're just going to teach moms how to feed their kids healthier. And it wasn't always opta via out in front, but it was some concept of health that we were serving our community with. Healthy steps, motion, walking groups. Like, really have fun with your business, guys. You're the CEO, of your business. A couple things is that I would like to see is more fun and value in Nourished. So I want you guys to put your CEO hat on for a moment. You own a health coaching business. All of your clients are in Nourished. How are you stewarding that? Or are you potentially going, I'm sure someone else has the fun covered. I'm sure someone else has the welcome wagon today. I'm sure someone else is posting recipes, hopefully, right? Really stop and think about, that's your client support page. How do you want it to look? How do you want it to feel? What do you want people to say about it? If they gave it a Yelp review, what would you want it to say, right? So this is something that I would just say, are you guys being intentional about your client support page that we pioneered? Okay, we don't own it. We just got it started. So really take that CEO mindset this week. One thing that's very simple is we all eat lean and greens, right? Take a picture and put it in there 2 nights a week with the recipe. Make sure it's plan approved, please, or else it creates a lot of questions. So yeah, put that next to it each time, make sure. But if we're all eating and drinking water and going through our life book, that content should be oozing out of us as clients in our feed and our stories and in our client support page. There is a FIBIC retreat coming up, and it is to be determined. It is going to be in Cabo. it looks like the last weekend of September, the beginning of October. And it's a qualifying event, a fully integrated business coach. Can you explain what that is? What a
Yeah.
FIDIC is for people that are
Yeah,
like, what is
so
that?
it means that you have a $6,000 frontline and you have 5 senior coaches. And your group volume is 15,000. So as you guys have heard many a times, this business is really developing 2 skill sets, which is developing senior coaches and executive directors. So this is a lot of fun. This is a skill that never gets old, and this is what we do for a living, is help other people. And so that's really the first skill, is helping as a business coach, helping people to help other people. So that's going to be a really fun event. I encourage all of you, if you're interested in going, reach out to your mentor and let them know, hey, I would love to be on the FIVIC track and I'd love some help in developing that. And we'd love to partner with you with that.
Yeah, so awesome. Put it too in the chat if you went to Cabo with us last time we went, right? Was it not just spectacular, right? Jumping off rocks, eating sushi, going on boats. Like it was, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to want the FOMO. The FOMO will be harder than the work it takes to get there. I promise you. So, ask your coach, like, hey, is it realistic? We're coming up with the qualifications for it. They are pretty generous, and we wanted to make sure that anyone that makes a decision to go could actually go, right? Then the company is going to be doing, this is TBD, but just put it on your radar, integrated national director, or maybe even regionals. They're discussing like what they want to do, but many of us just got back from Grow Global, and there's going to be an IND workshop that's going to take place also sometime in the fall. So these are just things. Why are we even putting them up here if they're TBD? Save some money. We want you to save some money. Don't spend all your Optavia money. Put a little bit of money aside for events. We always did. We never took all that money, right, and took it and put it on things. And I know it could be tempting, or if we're trying to get our finances in order. But as a small business owner, you're going to want to provision some money for events, because when you go to the event, you get all this stuff to come back, and it helps you build a bigger business. And if it isn't a bigger business, it's a better business that gives you more time freedom. So you don't want to ever get to a place where it's like, oh, I can't afford events. We just need to help a couple more people to be able to do that. Convention is sold out, but I would say get on the wait list. It's July 21st through the 24th. Last year, we saw a boatload of people get moved off that wait list. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a must. Like, imagine working for a company and never going to their, company convention. This is the same. You'll want to be there. You'll have crazy FOMO. And then Grow Global is an event that many of us just went to, and they talked about it tonight. They're selling that training and the workbook and everything for $99. And then you get like the ability to watch it and digest it. For those of you that want an ED or higher business, a FIVIC business, and really potentially leaving a job and having a little bit bigger of a vision, that's an excellent investment for your business. And you can talk to your mentor about grabbing that. And then locally, if you're one of my frontline coaches or a leader in the business, we're having an admin day at Julie Russell's house for locals. We're going to start emancipating you in technology and some of the things that Tim and I do on a daily basis that are time for our teams to start taking back and really be empowered to know how to do that. And we're going to do some admin / fellowship that day. It is a work day. We're not just going to play. We're going to get there and get right to work. And we're going to really start empowering people. You guys have a lot of questions like, how do you create a YouTube link, or how do you do this? And we're prepared to empower so that you know how to do that. All right. So book club is going to continue as we're on sabbatical. Here are your leaders. Here is the content. Here is the dates, and even the sections that you can start preparing your clients for June. And the Russells are taking on the month of June, and what we're going to look for going forward, because I want you guys to kind of digest this, and this is not in a disempowered narrative way, but for the last 2 years, we have been responsible for book club, like logging in, recording, getting the playbacks. I can't go anywhere Saturdays, right? And I'm okay with that because I love book club, but I don't think that's what's best for the team. And eventually, I think things will start dropping if it were to continue like that. And I don't want that. So what I think we're going to do is have teams take it for a month. So like the Russells are taking the entire month of June. That means they have the content, the recording, the promoting, all the things that goes into book club. And then the next month of July, we'd love to see another team take it. And August, another team take it. And this really will help us to deliver the best results for your client with someone that's refreshed, never burnt out on it, and really add value to the client. That's our main focus, is always the mission and making sure that we protect that first and foremost. Julie will let you guys know she might need a couple co-hosts, people that just log in, help let people in the room, mute people that pop off mute where it's like, well, somebody popped off, and really just an extra pair of hands while her team services your clients and their clients for the month of June. So what I'm saying to you guys, Monday nights are going to continue. Team calls will continue in June. Book club will continue in June. Power hours will continue in June. Okay, so this is exciting. Nothing really changes for many of you, but we want this progress over perfection every week. Put a 1 in the chat if you do not know what a power hour is. Or you're like, I have never heard of power hour. I don't know what that is.
You're not gonna be able to do
I
it.
can't get hold on. Let me see. There we go. All right. I want to see the chat. All right. 1. Okay. So I'm seeing some 1s. Awesome. Okay. So what we do here with you as your mentor team is we're always looking for mindset, skill set, and actions. Okay. So there are a lot of soft skills that come with coaching. And those are hard skills, are like, how do I put an order in? And if I want to tweak the 5 boxes, how do I do that? Right? How do I do wellness credits on account? Like, how do I do that? Well, those are a lot of hard skills. And typically your direct mentor and the app and all the tools and Monday night, that's going to get you pretty well trained on your hard skills. But your soft skills is what's going to bring the fun into the business and the freedom and the freedom to not pull, drag, or be overly concerned with who's not doing what or how to say something, right? Soft skills. Every Wednesday at 1 o'clock to 1:30, we teach a soft skill. And it's been awesome to see other leaders stepping into that. It was something that I started, and quickly different teams started jumping in and teaching, and it's really amazing. So this week, actually, let me back up a little.
I have one
There we
thing
go.
really
Yeah,
quick
go for
about
it.
book club. If you are interested for July, we would love to start putting that back. We'd like to start putting July together so that when we come back, we'll have already at least the first couple weeks. So if you or your team would like to take July on in terms of Saturday morning book club, please send us a message, text us, let us know, so that we can start building that out before we are gone in June.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would just say the strong preference is that a team would take it for the whole month.
Yeah.
The reason being is the continuity is beautiful to be able to huddle your team and have different folks teaching who's never got to do it, prep them for it, right? And really see you and your team shine in that, so that you can know what it takes to put these things on. I really would suggest that. Okay, so power hours, soft skills, progress over perfection. Here's the roster for June. You might want to take a picture of this. Now, I do have a really important announcement on this. Normally, power hour is in my room or Julie's room, typically, and we communicate it. This month of June, you will need to take radical responsibility for figuring out, where is it this week? Whose room is it in? And I think what I'll do is publish it so that, like, we have a little image that says the Offerman power hour number is this. The Nalties is this, the Reyes team is this, the Jamie and Matt Hurd team is this, and the Woods team is this.
We'll make an announcement in organic coaching, and it'll
Yeah.
just stay at the top of the page so that you guys can always find it on Wednesdays.
So that is one thing. So here's all of our topics that we actually just put together. And the topic is subject to change, but more or less, this is what we've put together for June. How to pre-integrate your clients. How do you step them into community early and often? Guys, I step clients into community the second the ink dries on the order. I don't even wait. I'm like, we got to go, right? We got to start undoing that mindset today. So that's something that you're like, man, I don't do that. I don't really get started until they tell me, hey, my box is here. Right? So we have soft skills for you.
One of the things that was great was when we did have the 15 days, if you were here before your order would come, and we did a lot of pre-integration. So that was a great way to start pre-integrating clients. So if you're not familiar with that, reach out to your mentor. We did a lot of work in things to do leading up to when their kit got there. And that was a great way to get them into community right away and to start to get to work on some of the habits. So
yeah, once upon a time, there was this thing called COVID, and our ship times went to 14 days. So we were ingredients scrounging as well. All right, we don't live there anymore, but yeah, that was really cool. June 8th is the Nolte team with Aaron Grace. Be you, be real, have fun on social media, but also the rules keep changing on social media. The algorithms keep changing. There's things that become important that weren't important 2 weeks ago. And that's not to say that we all have to be up on that, but if you want to be up on that and you want to add that soft skill, it should be available to you. The Reyes team on the 15th are going to do mid-month number crunching, knowing what to look at on your map, how to take action at the 15th of the month. That's halftime, looking at your business very intentionally and knowing how to run with your teams and all of that. So they're going to take that one. The Herd team, Jamie and Matt, are going to teach you guys dreaming. Do you guys know that most people that we meet, their dreamer is done? Like they're just like, I stopped dreaming a long time ago for my sanity and for my ability to survive. And so our coaches don't know how to do it. Our clients don't know how to do it. If we're honest, we have a hard time doing it. Julie and I just talked about how dreams turn into goals. And sometimes it just looks like a goal list. And it's not even something that really you're dreaming about. It's just more like a punch list of things. So I know Julie and Jamie are going to kind of team up and put together some really cool content around like, how do you get clients to dream that just want to diet, right? And then the Woods team on the 29th is how to create value and more trust deposits with your clients to build a referral-based business. How many of you would love to just have 3 to 5 to 7 clients a month just coming in from referrals? Like, it takes skill, it takes leadership, it takes a lot of coaching it and really adding value and stepping into things. So this week on Power Hour, what are we going to cover? Okay, just kind of wrapping up. It's already 6:30. This is a little preview. They trained on it on Saturday. If you guys were on Saturday's boot camp training, they gave us some things that were powerful. How do you get commitment from your clients? I was on a call today with a brand new coach, Misty, and she's on Sheila Calvo's team, and we were doing a practice call. And I asked the lady for some serious commitment, you guys. I mean, I went in and I was like, let me just break this down. Let me tell you why this is such an important question, how committed you are, how invested you'll be, and your role and our role, and how you're gonna want to diet in the dark. But guess what? This is not a self-directed plan. So are you coachable? Are you willing to do different things, abnormal things, right? We went in because I don't want her to come back and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I had to do all these things. This, hey, let's be fully disclosed. So committed clients have much greater success than clients that were never asked to commit. How do you guys ask to commit? Right? We're going to get on that on Power Hour. Clients who share and live out loud versus diet in the dark have breakthrough, and they report many wins on their weekly check-in than setbacks. So I'm shy, I'm an introvert, I don't live out loud, I'm not public, I hate to share, I would never post my wins. Those guys are gonna gain their weight back. It's just the psyche of dieting. It's nothing new under the sun. It's not an Optavia thing. It's just how it goes, right? So we have to help them as coaches to say, hey, I don't want you dieting in the dark. I'm going to stretch you this week and give you a little baby thing to do and nourished as a practice step, right? How do you guys step in to the pushback that you get? Do you peel back the pushback, and really do the feel, felt, found? Like, wow, Thomas, like, I'm sensing that when I ask this question, you seem to get like almost anxious. Can you share with me where the anxiety is coming from around letting other people know that you're getting healthy? Can you share a little bit? Can we unpack a little bit of that today? Because I really want to help move you forward in according to your why, in service to your why, right? So how do we do that? How do we illustrate one habit at a time? Not 1 pound at a time. Some of us are still saying 1 pound at a time. It's one habit at a time. Disrupt any dieting when you see it and hear it. Make sure it's not coming off your lips as a coach. Like, we got to do a little better at that, right? How do we let clients know that we don't have a self-directed diet? I had someone say today, my client said that they will not be doing team coaching. They will not get on a call with you. And I thought, how did that even become optional? Like, when, you know what I mean? So I don't hear that. You don't hear that. We used to hear that. We don't hear it anymore. That was our posture. That was our skill set that was lacking. We were making it optional. It sounded optional. It didn't sound like a vital piece of their success. It sounded like, if you want, you could do self-directed or you could do this, right? So we got to do better at that. And I want to teach you how. It's not a 30-day program. Clients that are shocked about their premier order coming up. Oh my God, I didn't know this was an auto ship. I didn't know, right? Uh-oh, something wasn't set up on the health assessment that clearly talked about this program takes a year, and we don't even get started until we've been on it 66 days, and we're not looking for a new weight. We're looking for a new life. All the things you mentioned on your health assessment, did you think that we could realistically accomplish those things in 30 days when this has been going on for 30 years, right? So we got to just do better at really setting those expectations and then creating summer plans this week with every client that you speak with. This is our time to shine, not shrink. So if any of that appeals to you and you're like, I feel like Rachel's stalking my client interactions, it's only because I failed my face off in them. And I've said every wrong thing that you could ever say in my first 5 years. So I can only imagine what'll be in the next 5. But I want to take it and put it to work with you so that you fail a lot less than I did, because you have a lot more insight than I did in that aspect. Okay. So if you guys can make some of those things a priority, if you're like looking at your week, Monday nights training as a team, look at how much we get poured into. We're being taught. If I wanted to start a franchise today, I'd have to spend about 250 grand, and they'd throw a franchise book at me. And I'd be watching online tutorials, right, on how to do it. It's not like that, but you have to prioritize Mondays. And then Wednesday is like, oh, wait, she said there's like a soft skill on Wednesday, but I'm at work. Many of you work full time. We know that. We'll record them. We'll put them in organic, but it's your responsibility to watch them and take advantage of that. And then Saturday, we train you as a client and a coach for book club. How many of you are like, oh my God, I would have never gone through Habits of Health book or the life book this thoroughly if I hadn't said yes to coaching and if I hadn't been responsible for some of the content teaching. We knew that. Did you guys know that when we created book club, we did it for you and not the clients? We know that you're a client, but we actually did it with the greatest intention around you, all of you in the squares, thinking, what would that do to our coaches if they actually had book club and they had to teach and dissect the information? They will be the best darn integrated clients, which will make them the best darn experiential coach. We knew that. It was intentional. It wasn't an accident or an afterthought. And then there's Saturday morning trainings from the company and all of that, reading your life book 5 minutes a day and just focusing on your client journey. Most of being a coach is like a documentary of your life. What do you eat for breakfast? What do you drink? How do you get your water in? How do you get your steps in? How do you fight for sleep? So a lot of us are just overthinking our content, right? Where it's like, just live out loud and share what's happening with you guys. So we will have one last team call on the 30th, which is next
That
week.
will be on for June, she means.
What's that?
That will be on for June. I mean, for May, and then we'll be off for a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our last team huddle will be next Monday, the 30th. And we'll go over a little bit more details if there's any loose ends. But the good news is you guys are in a sea of leaders. Like, there are leaders of leaders on this team. You're going to get loved on by the Nalties, by the Reyeses, by the Russells, there's so many people that are going to serve you while we're out. And that brings me the greatest joy that I could ever imagine, to know that like you guys are going to get served by people and go, I like how Julie did that better than Rachel, or I like how Brian said that better than Tim. And guess what? We're not offended. We're super happy because it means that they really are able to shine. Or I like how Patrick broke that down on this. It's like, we're ready for that. We're ready to see these guys shine and fall back. We need to fall back in many aspects. And so just wanted to communicate that. We'll go over a little bit more next Monday. It'll be month end, last day of the month. But we love you guys. Thank you for staying on a few minutes extra, and we'll see you on Power Hour.
Good night.
Good night.